Hey everyone, I'm live in the Bronx in the Hoffman Street parking garage, and we're checking out Arthur Avenue and 187th Street today. So if you could check out this sign up here, this is a few of the businesses from this area. You could see a lot of them have been around for more than 100 years. And on the other side of the wall with the Italian flag is Arthur Avenue. And we're going to tour Arthur Avenue. We're also going to check out 187th. Two main areas. So those are the two main areas in the Belmont section of the Bronx, also known as Fordham, named after the university, and it's also known as Little Italy. So I just want to show you where we are real quick. This is the parking garage here, parking lot I should say, and it's $1.50 per hour, and this is a great place. Saturday it gets kind of filled up. I had to actually wait a little while to find parking here, so I'm going to switch it back here, zoom out a little bit. And right there is Enzo's. That's a restaurant I dined at earlier in the month when I was working on a story, which you could actually see on my blog. The story is about Italian bakeries in the Bronx, and they get their bread from a place right up here I'm going to show you, which is called Madonia Brothers, one of the oldest places in the area. And right here you could see some of the businesses here. You could see Untitled Brothers, and you see they got a pork store up there. So we're gonna just go up Arthur, and then we're gonna go to 187th. And right here we have Biancardi's, which you saw the sign for. We saw Madonia Brothers. Here's Adeo and Sons Bakery. And what's really cool about a lot of these places is they supply some of the local restaurants. So, for example, if you eat at Enzo's, which I did recently, they get their olive bread from Madonia Brothers, which we're going to stop by and check out. And then Arthur Avenue, the main stretches from around 184 to 189. So the street numbers are going to get lower as we walk up here. And again, Saturday is the main day to check out this area. You could see people on the sidewalk cafes and things like that, because when the hotter it gets, the more crowded it gets. So this is a place I haven't tried yet. It's called Dominic's. Great. And then we have grocery stores. We have Gina joining us from Florida. I believe you're from Florida, Gina, right? Boogie Down Bronx, and I think you're originally from Ozone Park. We have Amelia's, another restaurant I haven't tried. So there's plenty of places. San Gennaro, I know I have an uncle that tried this place. Hello.
The biggest gangs in the Bronx.
Great. Okay, and then here we have Randazzo Seafood. So how do you like this compared to Howard Beach, Gina? I know this is like, Howard Beach is a miniature, more suburban version of this. But they just, a few hours ago, they had the actual shucked oysters on the...
Salty bacala.
Salty bacala, thank you. So this is the first trace. This is such a friendly neighborhood, as you could tell, of niche, not crowded at all. Yeah, here, look, check that out. We got some eels. Again, this is such a friendly neighborhood. We got eels, and it's kind of quiet now, so we're gonna take a step inside. We got Manila clams. You love going there, I miss it. Yes, because you're in Florida. Soft shell crabs. And we also have, let's see what else. I don't know how well you could hear the gentleman here. Octopus, pulpo, one of my favorites. Pulpo Italiano. Uni. Okay, so yeah, they actually, when I ate here the last time, they actually had sea urchin. And I actually ate it for the first time. Fresh branzino, okay, great. We got squid, sardines. This is what sardines actually look like.
Yeah, this is sardines.
They're very small.
Uh-huh.
So then we got squid, one of my favorites. It's cleaned. So Avnish, where are you joining us from? Boogie Down Bronx. I love the hip hop reference, by the way. Avnish, where are you joining us from? Here we got sea scallops. And this is Randazzo's, and first place I ever actually tried raw seafood on this street, at least. I love seafood. So, and then we have lobster over here in the corner. So here's some lobster, and we're going to continue. Right up the street here, we got a barber shop. And then we got Pasquale's. This was actually closed last time I was here, so Pasquale's is open now. And what really is great about this place is that they have valet parking. So if you look right up here, you can see free parking around the corner. So that's another reason to come here. And this place here is kind of the end of the road. I want to show you this really nice Babe Ruth. They actually have a Babe Ruth drawing here, the Babe. And although Babe Ruth was from Baltimore, he actually, he became famous as a New York Yankee here. And I believe either him or Lou Gehrig lived in a part of the Bronx, which is called Riverdale. The Kennedy family lived there. People think of the Bronx as very urban, but the farther north you go, the more suburban it gets. Okay, so Arthur and Crescent. This is Arthur Avenue. We had a President Chester Arthur. He's not one of the more famous ones, but this street is named after him. I don't know really the story behind it. And then I believe that's a Columbus statue off in the distance there. So, Gina, I want to mention, I'm actually heading to Kissimmee, Florida next month. Well, this month, in a week. So, I don't know where in Florida you are, but I'm actually heading to Kissimmee. Here's a coffee shop. This feels kind of like European cafe culture a bit. So, the Chico Brothers novelties. This is very modern compared to what you see in most of these streets, CBD. And here you have a cheese shop. You also have their nails. Here's an Albanian TV store, I believe. There's a lot of Albanians in the Bronx. And here's a store we might be able to step in and check out. This looks like a little Italian specialty store right here. Hi. And there's just dozens of places like this. And then you can see the odd Chinese place mixed in here. You see Mexican food as well. So it's not Mexican food right here. It's not 100% Italian. No neighborhood really is. Even in Little Italy now, you can see there's a Malaysian restaurant called Baba Nyonya, if I'm saying that right. Okay, 3 or 4 hour drive, Fort Lauderdale. Okay, Gina, so you're in South Florida. I haven't been to the Sunshine State in 15 years, so I'm looking forward to it, but I'm only in Central Florida. So check out the meat on the ceiling here. This is a pork store, Calabria, which is a part of Sicily. Here's Mario's. Now, Gina, you've been tuning into my Goodfellas specials, my Goodfellas Lives. Mario's, here's the story about Mario's. That shooting scene where Michael Corleone walked into a bathroom and walked out with a gun, that scene was originally supposed to be filmed here. At least they wanted to film it here. They did not want that kind of notoriety. They didn't want to be associated with what that movie was about. So it ended up going to a place in Gun Hill Road, which I believe is a dry cleaner nowadays. So that's just a little interesting fact. And here's this little cigar bar here. I believe they make them, you could see them made inside. Okay, so this is the Arthur Avenue Retail Market right up here. So right inside of here, so somebody do you want to say hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a gentleman here wants to say hello. Hello.
My people.
Hello, Bronx.
I love you. .com. Restaurant.com. Arranca.
Are you a YouTuber?
I love you. I so food very good.
Facebook and YouTube, yeah.
No.
You like Mr.
Ra.
Beast
Esta
and
buena
everything.
está. Esta buena está. Ratata. Hello.
Ratata.
Te quiero.
We're
Thank
on
you.
Video.
You're on video, say hi. Now, okay, Gina, Howard Beach. The first time I ever tried Uncle Louie G's was in Howard Beach. And now they're up in the Bronx at the Arthur Avenue Retail Market. And if you look in here, it's kind of quiet now. I guess I could walk in. Zeppole Ice Cream, that's the cigar place. But they have really cool flavors here. I'm gonna try to zoom in here without disturbing these nice people here. See, we got spumoni, cookie dough, Nutella, apple pie. Just so you know, when I have dinner in the Bronx, in this neighborhood, this is how I typically end my night. I usually stop here. So Uncle Louie G's, and I think they're from Queens. Maybe Gina can help us out on that. But okay, Madonia, since 1918. This is their famous olive bread right here. So
They don't have any jalapeno bread left.
this is the olive bread. You just heard them. There's no jalapeno here. Everybody's very friendly today. Happy Easter. And if you want to try this bread without going into the bakery and buying it, Enzo's serves it right across the street. So, hello. Okay, so, and then this is another pork store right here, probably other meats as well. So, and this is another seafood store, and I'm glad we're getting to pass here because we got another bakery here, Adeo and Sons. But here's a raw bar. You could actually see them shucking the oysters here from behind. And this is Cosenza's Fish Market. I did try this place once. I've tried Randazzo's. And there you can see the pulpo, the octopus on the inside. And I want to show you something else here. Marone Pastry Shop is another one of the places I included in my story about Italian bakeries in the Bronx. This is actually the new kid on the block, so to speak, because they opened in 2006, and they're known for their rainbow cookies, their pignoli cookies, their cannoli. One common thing with all of these places that we're checking out today, one common thing is they're all known for their cannoli. And then the other things, when I ask them, like, what are they known for? That kind of varies. So here's 089, 089. I believe this is named after the area code where the owner came from. This is probably the best pizza. I'm sure somebody will disagree with me. This is probably the best Neapolitan style pizza you'll find in this area. You have a lot of slice joints, but you don't really have places like this that don't sell slices. So here's Titel Brothers, but I don't know if you can go inside. Yeah. Okay, so this looks like a storage warehouse for the place across the street. So we're gonna cross the street right now. And this is the store. This is another one of those places we saw in the parking lot, the little painting. And here they have a lot of stuff on sale here. And most people agree that this is the real Little Italy as opposed to the one in Manhattan. Howard Beach is suburban and under the radar, and they don't have like stores like this. So if you watched my Goodfellas East Harlem video, we actually passed this place. And they sell their tomato sauce in the area. So Titel Brothers, great place for shopping. Okay, so we're gonna continue here. We got another meat market. And one nice thing about this neighborhood is it's basically 6 blocks and it's so walkable that it's a great place to just, like I park at that Hoffman Street lot and walk around here, do some shopping. Before I started this video, I actually bought seafood salad. I bought some mozzarella from a place we're gonna be passing. So here we have another Italian restaurant, Gerbasi, with an outdoor garden. And here's a little coffee shop. Try to peek in here. So you have a lot of these places with different imports. Like an obvious one's Nutella, but I want you to check these out. Lamborghini, Ducati, Fiat, all these European cars have their own little espresso cup sets. And then this one here, Ciao Amore. I really wish I could learn Italian. I haven't been to Italy in 15 years, just like Florida, so I don't know how much I'd be able to use it, but if I did, I might have more of an incentive to actually go back and visit. So, okay, so right now we're coming up on 187th Street, which is really the other main thoroughfare in this area. So we have Full Moon Pizzeria, which I tried with Alexandra, who does Bronx historic tours. Check her out on Bronx Tours on Instagram. Her and I are trying to coordinate a Facebook Live, but today didn't work for her and I really wanted to get up here. I'm gonna cross here and we're gonna go down 187th. There's about 1 block, and then once you hit Hoffman, not so many Italian businesses anymore. So we're gonna continue down here and go to probably, definitely in my top 2 or 3 favorite bakeries in this area. Right now in my refrigerator, I have a cannoli donut from Gino's, and I also have a red velvet slice from Artuso's, which is a few blocks that way. So if it's quiet in here, we're gonna actually go in and say hello. There are a few people in here. But I do want to take you in and show you something. Hello again. I want to show you something. You see where it says Chaz? That's actually a replica of Chaz Palminteri's wedding cake. He grew up at 667 East 187th, which you could actually see on Gino's website. And you can see that's Al Pacino. And here you see the wall. This is very common in New York. You have wrestlers, local athletes. And this here is from the Broadway special, A Bronx Tale. So this is actually the one that would have been on stage. So yeah, again, this is Gino's and the cannoli donuts he's known for. I've also tried the tiramisu, which is right down here. And there's more Chaz cake. So we're gonna continue up this way and cross. And we're gonna go back across Arthur Avenue actually. So right here we have some other businesses that are not necessarily bakeries or pastry shops or restaurants, but I just want to show you kind of, today we'll get a feel for the neighborhood. And right here we're coming up on Arthur Avenue. And by the way, if you want to come here, you could take the Metro North to Fordham University, and then you could walk here. It's very easy. Ann and Tony's, you see 5 generations. That's very common in this area. You have people that are, born into the business. I'm yet to try this place, but like most of these places, they have their specials on the chalkboard. And I'm gonna actually show you where I had dinner last night, because I've been exploring this area more than usual the last year or two, because there's just so much here that it's very difficult to just kind of do it all in 1 or 2 visits. So it's easy to drive in, but it's also accessible by public transit, which is nice. So we're gonna cross the street over here, and I'm gonna show you Cicciarone Park. Right across the street here. And let's go over here. And right here, this is Cicciarone Park, very similar to my last name. This is the main park in the area, besides that little triangular park where you saw the Columbus bust. And right up here is another place I bought mozzarella from over the years. It's Tino's Delicatessen, and I get it salted when I go here. That's just me. But they have both options. You see, like most places, they have outdoor seating. It's around 55 degrees Fahrenheit here today. So this place also sells meat, and maybe we could just peek in really quick. Yeah, so this is Tino's. And if you do the tour that I mentioned, the Arthur Avenue tour with Bronx Tours, that's one of the places they stopped at when I did the tour. So we're gonna continue up here, and we're gonna go back onto 187th, and we're gonna see a church that's more than 100 years old. We're gonna see where Chaz Palminteri grew up. And by the way, speaking of Chaz, this area was the inspiration for A Bronx Tale, the movie. So that's something to consider when you're in this area. That movie is semi-autobiographical because Chaz did grow up here. Many of the things about the movie are true. If you're interested in that, check out his podcast. The second episode, he really goes into detail about the movie. So here, we're gonna cross because most of the businesses are on this side of the street. This is DeLillo Pastry, which I also have a little section about on my blog. I mentioned basically 10 bakeries in the Bronx, and this is one of them. Just so you know, the good bakeries are not all in Manhattan by any stretch. So this is actually the oldest one as far as I'm aware. The DGO dates all the way back to 1912. And this is Hughes, and the back entrance to the market, the Arthur Avenue Retail Market, which we just saw, that's actually right up here.
Can I be in the vlog?
Hi, you want to say hi?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm from Tennessee, bro.
Tennessee.
We're from Brooklyn.
Okay. All right, Brooklyn's great too. All right, so this is where I had dinner last night, by the way. So Tradinoi, This is where I had dinner last night. It's a little cozy place with checkered tablecloth. And like most places, they have their specials up on the board. And Jerry from Gino's, which we walked into a minute ago, Jerry actually recommended that place. I've probably eaten at about a half dozen different places in this area. That one really stands out. And I'm going to talk more about some of the other places later. I just have so many to try. This is a ravioli egg noodle shop. They're famous for their ravioli. Here's a little idea of what they have. And that's a really cool shirt she's wearing. I don't know if she wants to be on camera, but yeah, so if you're looking to, if you don't make ravioli yourself and you want something beyond like the frozen stuff you see in the grocery store, I recommend that place. And here, every neighborhood has an obligatory flower shop. And here's the one in this area. And we're in the, you see Belmont up here. This is, I would consider this the Belmont section of the Bronx. In A Bronx Tale, they refer to it as the Fordham section. It's referred to as Fordham because the university's nearby. And if you wanted to come here from Manhattan, you would likely take the Metro North and get out at Fordham and then walk about, let's say 5 to 10 minutes. So we're gonna continue up here. And this is where another one of my favorite pastry shops is at the end of this street. So it's called Artuso's, and it's recognized enough that the side street here is actually named after one of the owners, or one of the founders, I should say. And I'll show you that when we get up here. And then we're gonna cross the street after because I wanna show you the church, and I'll also show you where Chaz grew up. So this is Chamberlain Avenue. And this neighborhood, if you really look at it, it's kind of like a triangle. And this would be one of the corners of it. Because if you go up Crescent, you're gonna come on one of my favorite restaurants, come up on one of my favorite restaurants. It's called Antonio's. And that's one place that's not on the main drag, but it's still just as busy as any other place that I've been to. So Artuso's here. Red velvet cake, cannoli. They have usually sometimes a handful of different cannoli. Pistachio, pumpkin, you know, whatever time of the year it is, it kind of depends. You see a lot of these places have capacity restrictions, and the more crowded ones tend to have people waiting outside, but it's good because it's a nice day. And let's just check out real quick, Vincent Artuso Sr. This is very popular in New York. And also in this neighborhood, you have different regions of Italy. So this is Campania. So they have little signs from different regions of Italy. And I've only been between, so far, I've only been between Florence and Naples, so I still have a lot to see. And here you can see tomorrow's Easter, order your Easter cake, and it's also around St. Joseph's. So you have the Zeppeli and the Sfingi, which I actually ordered from a few different places when I was working on the story that you could see up on the blog. Here's some old pictures here, black and whites. Merry Christmas. So really, I want to say Terra Nova, right across the street here, is probably the end of this part of the neighborhood. Once you go down there, you got the Bronx Zoo is south of here. You got some green space, but the Italian bakeries and businesses pretty much end here. So right here you have a street vendor selling churros, which is really nice. Every one of the bakeries in this area, you're gonna see pane di casa, which is house, bread of the house. And also I wanna mention on my blog that I kinda have the suggestions for every place. So here we go, ravioli. If you go in here, you can see that they have, the refrigerators are filled with ravioli there and other pasta that they sell. So here you go, Fordham students, 10% off because we're right around the corner from Fordham. And the places in this neighborhood also love to show their accolades. And here we go. There's all their references. And here, 1967. For this neighborhood, I would say that's relatively new. You know, because you have places that go back over 100 years. So it's kind of busy in there. We're not going to go inside. But like a lot of bakeries in this neighborhood, they supply the local restaurants. So Even if you don't get bread from there, you may end up trying it in one of the restaurants. I know Tradinoi, where I ate last night, they actually buy bread from there. And here's another Italian deli, right here, Joe's. And then we're gonna pass another one coming up here. But I wanna show you the church, and this building is sort of historic in light of A Bronx Tale and how popular that movie's become. So this is, this whole building here is 667. So this is 667 East 187th Street. This is where Chaz Palminteri grew up. So that movie A Bronx Tale, the apartment that you see in the movie, in real life, this would have been here. He plays, you know, the boss, Sonny. And here you go, 667, just like the Soundgarden song. And Homeland Surveillance is monitoring this property. So it would be really cool to live above a Euro food market, I think. And here we see, which you don't see every day, is a lot of the street vendors here just kind of peddling their carts. That's not what you normally see here. So we're back coming up on Belmont, and we're gonna see right here, this is a church, Mount Carmel, and the doors were open when I passed here earlier. So we'll see if they're open. Again, I did get to go in here when I did the tour with Bronx Tours, and it's one of the older churches in the Bronx, actually. There's another one in East Harlem, which is in the East Harlem video that I did about a month ago. So here you go, 1917. And then over here it says 1907. I'm guessing that means it was started in 1907, completed 1917. These buildings are really elaborate, and they didn't have the kind of technology that you have today. So the doors are closed, no mask, no entry. But I prefer not to go into churches when I do these live videos. So yeah, so basically we're gonna be coming back up on here, and then I'm gonna show you the back entrance to the Arthur Avenue Retail Market, and then that'll be it. I will be uploading this to YouTube. If you could follow me on YouTube, subscribe to Brian May Rome. That's my channel. And we're coming up here, we're gonna cross here. And you see there are quite a few Mexican and Asian restaurants here. There's Rockin' Ramen, and I'll show you another popular place. We're gonna actually come back out here because there are a few things here on Hughes Avenue that you should see. Again, most of the places are along 187th and Arthur Avenue, but some of the best places like Antonio's are actually hidden. So here we go, we have a cafe. There are a few businesses on this street, but most of them are actually, most of the buildings are actually residential. So this is the street that you don't see as many tourists on. And here's another bakery. This one also supplies some of the local restaurants. It was closed when I was writing my story, so I didn't have a chance to go inside. I'm realizing that just, you know, it's only been a month since I put that blog post up, and it's already a little more lively around here, which is nice. So this is 186th, and this is the New York Public Library. This is the Belmont branch. So that's this neighborhood, I consider it Belmont. A lot of people, you know, it is Little Italy as well. But that's Arthur Avenue right there. So you can see how small this neighborhood is. But I would still say it's probably bigger than Howard Beach and Little Italy and Manhattan combined. So just keep that in mind as far as the size of the neighborhood here. Real Little Italy, they've been saying that for years. I first read about this area in the United Airlines magazine, Flying to Florida, actually around 1999, 2000. And it took me a while to make it up here, and I actually booked a tour, so hope everybody remembered to vote. Real quick, I'm just gonna show you the back entrance to here. And here you can see vegetables. And then the place that we saw earlier, Enzo's, they actually have a little stand here. So hi. So here they sell their pizza, What's your name?
Juliana.
Okay, yeah. So I'm actually doing a Facebook Live about the neighborhood. Thank you for the recommendation. I ate at the restaurant about maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I had the baked clams. They were really good.
Awesome.
So,
No problem. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed.
yeah, so if you're in the neighborhood, there you go. Enzo's. All right, thank you. Okay, so we're going to head out of here. And I just want to show you one more cheese store. That's one of the more popular places in the neighborhood. And we're coming back out. This is Hughes Avenue. We're coming back up 186. The next street is 187th. And again, this is it's April 3rd, 2021. Tomorrow's Easter Sunday. So a lot of people are doing their shopping. In the windows, you probably noticed that there's Easter bread, Easter pie. You know, earlier when I was here, it was a lot busier, but it's starting to quiet down a little bit. Sunday, a lot of these businesses are closed, by the way. New York's, you know, known as a city that never sleeps, but I would say in this neighborhood, some of the businesses that you may want to visit will be closed on Sundays. So if you really want to see it lively, Saturday's the best day. And if you want to have, like, I'd say a more intimate experience, try coming on a Sunday. And that parking lot I showed you at the beginning, that's actually free on Sundays. And street parking here is free as well. So Sunday's the only day that you could park for free around here. Street parking's tough, but once you get into that lot, you could stay there for 3 hours. So here we have, we're back up on 187th, and I want to show you Casa della Mozzarella, because that's one of the popular places. You could see when we're coming up here, you could see that there's people waiting outside to get in there. I actually went in there and bought burrata earlier. They're not waiting for Rockin' Ramen, they're actually waiting for Casa della Mozzarella. So there we go. You can see right here the sign, 1 person per family, which is very common in New York now. And here's a little peach wave. And this is one of the frozen yogurt places. Here you see you have peach wave gelato. So they're trying to identify with the neighborhood a little bit, I would say. But I would not personally try a place like that in a neighborhood like this. I mean, if I was passing through a small town or something and it was late, or, you know, I needed dessert, I would definitely go there. I enjoy those places. But there's much more authentic options in a neighborhood like this. So we're gonna end this tour at Hoffman Street, and we're going down 187th. So this is Gino's right here, which we passed before. And again, this place is 61 years old. So right here. And like I said, I have 2 things in my refrigerator right now. And one of them is the cannoli donuts from Gino's. So here we go. And here, this is something you don't see. So you can definitely tell what time of year it is. And yeah, so here we go. Gino's Pastries. And I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you everyone for tuning in. And I'm looking forward. Oh, hey, Joy, thank you for tuning in. This is Gino's Pastry Shop. And I'm gonna be uploading this to YouTube so you could watch the whole thing. And yeah, so hope everybody in New York and beyond is having a great weekend. And I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, youtube.com/BrianMayRome. And I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you, have a great night.